And why you lie to me.
And Delph is expected to have a medical at City today and sign for them for as little as £8 million, which was his release clause after he signed a new contract in January. Alan's a Manchester City fan. Good morning, Alan.
Hey, Georgie. Good morning. Good morning, Quinn.
Good morning, Al.
Yeah, nice to speak to you again.
You?
Just very quickly, obviously, I want to come on and talk about Man City and Fabian Delph and so forth. But I think you know I'm a big cricket fan, big sports fan, and what a last 2 weeks, to take 2 weeks off work, it's been great. Wimbledon and the Test match, couldn't have gone better.
Can't beat it. Come on then, Delph, good signing, or should be City signing the likes of Pogba instead of Delph?
Right, I'm going to tell you something, Mickey. It was quite clear, and I think the crucial game was when we went to your place at Anfield a few months ago. It was quite clear that City had fallen way behind Chelsea. It had become an old team, and it was quite clear that it was way off the pace, and it needed not just minor surgery, it needed major surgery. You were looking at 7 or 8 players out, I thought, and 7 or 8 top quality in. You know, we were giving people like Dzeko at 29 and Yaya Toure, 30 years old, 4-year contracts. Now, what we're left with here is a washed-up 32-year-old Yaya Toure who nobody wanted this summer. I'm disappointed that he's staying because I think we've seen his best days. So all summer long, you know, we've had our chairman on, Caldoon, about a month ago saying how excited he was about the quality that was coming in. He's led us falsely into believing that we were chasing Pogba, who you know is a world-class player, Mickey. Anyone with him in your side, you've got to be thinking you can win the Champions League. Seriously, he's that good. Now, I'm on Sky Sports every day and I'm on the talkSPORT app. Have we got Pogba yet? And it's quite clear, they were never serious about getting him. All right, it's a big fee. And okay, we've had this FFP. We should forget that, Mickey. Do what Gary Neville said. Take them on. Don't worry about that. United don't bother. Chelsea don't bother. Paris Saint-Germain don't bother. They should have gone out, Mickey, and broke the bank to get him. And now we're not getting him. But don't worry, we're bringing in a £9 million Fabian Delph. Now,
there's a little bit of sarcasm in your voice there, Alan.
Well, no. Mickey, I'm so disappointed, and I'll tell you why. You know, I almost feel like the chairman is guilty of false representation. I've gone out and got my season ticket in the last couple of weeks, and rubbing salt into the wound, I had to go and get my son his season ticket for the other lot across the road. You know, he's a United fan. That's another story. Don't go there. But, you know, we left. I'll tell you who we brought in so far. We brought in a £2 million 18-year-old Turk, a £9 million Fabian Delph, who's been part of a side that has just escaped the drop. I'm sorry, Mickey. Is that what we've gone down to?
Okay, so I mean, Sterling, would that excite you?
Absolutely. Now, the jury's out on Raheem Sterling. I think it's very much 50-50 on whether he's worth 50 million. Myself, I'm a massive Sterling fan. I've seen City's last 3 games against Liverpool, and he's punished us. Yeah. You know, them 3 games have been great games. I think, Mickey, if you believe in him and you go and pay the money, this has been allowed to fester, and it's no good for Liverpool. I'm sure you feel it as a scout.
That's right.
You know, it's hurtful to you. Now, what I'm saying is they should have gone out and paid the extra 5, 6 million or whatever. If you believe he can be the difference, winning your league titles, winning your Champions League, go and get him. I am so angry. We're going to get Sterling in the end. But our players should have been there now. But you know what else concerns me? It's the rest of the team. It's the defence where we're sadly lacking. You know, 32 million for Mangala. Whoever signed him, Mickey, needs sitting down and telling off.
He looked ordinary last season, didn't he? He looked ordinary.
You do have to pay over the odds, City, like Chelsea have had to previously. When clubs know you've got money, you do have to pay over the odds, sadly.
Georgie, I agree with that, but what do you do? What do you do? Do you walk away from Pogba for the sake of fact? Listen, we've got Jovetic there, we've got Dzeko, we've got Nasri, we've got Navas. Offer Juventus a couple of those players and 50 million. Just go and get him.
Edin Dzeko, will he leave, Alan? Dzeko?
Well, Mickey, I pray every night that he does. I'm praying that he does. I'm praying. Listen, I was praying that Pellegrini went. When you look at Pellegrini's signings, the season before last, he brought in Negredo, Jovetic, Navas and Fernandinho. Over £100 million. And apart from Negredo, who looks all right for the first 3 months, I won't let any of them kick my garden gate, let alone a football. That was disgusting business.
So still work to do for City. We're going to have to move on. Still work to do for City in the transfer to get back to the top of the Premier League.
Breathe, Alan. Breathe, Alan.
Okay, listen, I don't even think we'll finish in the top 6 with the Fabian Delphs, and I'm serious. No, Mickey, I'm giving you a prediction, and I'll be on and off through the season.
Okay.
City, because Arsenal have moved on, Man United are signing good players, Chelsea are there. I think Liverpool might be a surprise package this year, and I think that they could have a good season. I really, really do. But I think City are going to struggle to be in the 4. Okay. With Fabian Delph, I'm sorry, I'm really, really upset.
Al, good to hear from you, and keep in touch through the season because we'll back that up. Cheers, Alan. Thanks for your call.
Tell me why you cried and why you lied to me. Tell me why you cried and why you lied to me.
I said, I think they've got the right manager in there, and maybe now they'll start climbing the table, and probably, as I said, Sherwood's probably had a word with Delph, but watch this space, because I think there's a lot of things to unfold in that transfer.
I'm afraid it is only the second week of sorry, what's the date now? It's about the second week of July, isn't it?
But what you have to realise, when Man City wants someone, they'll eventually come and get them, no matter what. But I know the player says no, but they can be very convincing.
Well, I say, very delighted Aston Villa fans. There's another side to this story as well. And Alan is a Manchester City fan in Salford. Of course he is. Hello, Alan.
Hey, Danny, good evening. Good evening, Clinton.
Thank you for joining the pair of us and the listening millions. What do you want to say about this? It's an unusual... I used the word strange before. It's an unusual rather than a strange story, isn't it?
Well, I've got a few takes on it, Danny.
Go on.
I'm a City fan. I'm a passionate City fan. Just renewed my season ticket. But from an Aston Villa point of view, let's start there. It must be brilliant news, because that's where they're at. That's where they're at. Fabian Delph, very, very mediocre player. I was on with Quinny and Georgie this morning talking about him. Very, very mediocre player. I was quite disappointed and angry, actually, when I heard that we'd switched our attention from Pogba to the likes of Fabian Delph. Aston Villa have just finished 4th from the bottom, and haven't, exactly pulled up trees in many, many a year. So I'm absolutely delighted, really, that he's not coming. From a Villa point of view, it must be fantastic, because that's where they're at. Now, everyone's praising him, saying, what a guy. He's turned down Manchester City. I'll tell you what he's done. He's bottled it. He's bottled it. No question about that. Mikey Richards has been in his ear. So has Scott Sinclair. It's true, this, Clinton. It's true. Because
I think he's totally different to what Scott Sinclair is. I think he will come in and he'll play. You got to think.
Do you want to know something?
Yeah.
Do you want to know something? As bad as he is.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't mean to be disrespectful.
What? So you don't think? So you're telling me you don't think he's a good player then? You don't think he's a good player?
I'm going to tell you something. At the level that City are at, and where we need to be, and the players we sign, it's not what we need.
But you need to sign English players. You can't. So you're going to sign Pogba.
Yeah, but
Pogba's going to cost 70 million.
You know, his English players live down the road there. We don't just go out and sign anybody.
All right,
what are you saying? You think they should go and sign? I don't know, one of Lancaster City's players.
No. What, Danny? Seriously, what I'm saying is, just getting back to it, and I'm not joking. I'm not being facetious. Yeah. I've read something by Mikey Richards this week. I mean, we love Mikey Richards at City, and we wish him all the best.
Yeah.
But Mikey Richards has been, writing about if Delphi goes to City, he probably won't get in. He has to consider that side of it. I'm telling you that Fabian Delph has looked at the Jack Rodwell situation.
Yep.
He's had a word with Sinclair. He's had a word with Richards. He's looked at the way another great player, James Milner, has walked away because he's not getting game time. Now, he's not backed himself to come in and say, I can get in there before Fernando.
Okay,
I can get in there before...
Alan, that is a perfectly...
that's a fair point.
That's a valid shade of opinion. Let me ask you this then. If he's such a mediocre player, why do Manchester City want him?
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I'm moving on to the other side of it now. From a City point of view... You're a telling things machine, Alan. Danny, I love the club. I love the club. But listen. Since the season finished, it was quite... And I said this to Quinny. It was quite evident to me 3 months before the end of the season. That Liverpool game told me everything when they destroyed us. Now, it's been a good team. It's been a really, really good team that's won things over the last 4 or 5 years. But the fact is, we've got a very, very old squad. Now, we have slipped so far behind in a short space of time, it's unbelievable. And I said to Quinny, what this team needs, There's not a bit of tinkering about. It needs major surgery. I'm talking about 7 or 8 top quality players in. And your Nasri's, your Cleaches, your Di Michaelis's, your Jovetic, your Jekos, you passed it. Even Yaya Toure.
Nah.
You know, we're stuck now. We're stuck now.
No,
we're stuck.
you can't say that Yaya's past it. He might have had not a good a season, but when that guy's on his game, he's one of the best. And another thing, what English player are you going to get for £8 million in this transfer market at England International? You name me one who can do what Delph can do, where he's going to hold and do a job for you at Man City.
Listen,
Tell me.
I agree. Well, I'm going to tell you.
Go on,
but
then.
we don't need to
He's
sign
a telling machine,
players.
this man.
we needed to sign. Seriously, we needed to sign Paul Pogba.
Yeah, but
when you've got Paul, listen, why won't we pay the money? We're the richest club in the world. Forget FIFA.
Because he wants to go to Barcelona.
Yeah.
Does he really? No, I tell you what, City won't pay.
Are you going to tell me?
Yeah, City won't pay. Danny, City won't pay. And listen, seriously, they're going to pay a heavy price. They're going to pay a heavy price because I think if they're going, this is turning out to be a really disastrous transfer window for City. Everyone they're going after, they can't get. They can't get De Bruyne. They're struggling with Sterling. They won't pay the money. They backed out of Pogba till they go in for Delph. Now, I'll give you a prediction that they go into the season with this squad not finishing the top 6. What's going to happen here is in about a week or two, you're going to get a string of panic buys like Dallas,
I'll give you a prediction. By the end of August, you would have signed three or four top quality players, and you'll be there or thereabouts next season. Remember where we had this conversation?
Yeah, will do. I'll happily come back on and talk to you, but I'll tell you this. Fabian Delph, you know, I didn't want him anyway.
Okay.
But he's not coming to City for one reason only. And don't be fooled. Please don't be fooled. Not because he's a loyal man and he wants to stay with Villa. He's been offered a good butty and he's turned it down. He's bottled it. He's got no backbone. He should have backed himself.
Do you know what, Alan? You know who agrees with you? You know who agrees with you? Manchester City legend Rodney Marsh, and he's coming on in about an hour and a half's time to back you up 100%.
He's my hero.
Well,
he is the hero, and he is the guy that when I picked up football as a young boy, he was in the team, Danny Lee and Colin Bell. Oh, give my regards to Rodney.
I will do. Thanks, Alan. Thanks very much indeed. Well.